What is up, guys? I have a personal concern that I want to relate to you guys about something that came out just very recently, about 16 hours ago. And, James Gunn likes to tweet, man, and sometimes he gives us some cool information, and sometimes he gives us some information that is kind of a bummer, and I want to talk about it. So, I'm sharing my screen right now. I'm on his tweet, and he had posted a picture of a dog that he has been able to rescue, and it looks like he's doing much healthier. It's a cute dog. I saw a picture of it before this, and it was you could tell that it was in bad shape, and now is in much better shape. Cool on James Gunn for doing this, but that's not why we're here. The reason we're here is because this person, Our Movie News, tweeted and said, "Hi James, could you please clarify this? Is this referring to Man of Steel 2 with Cavill that you now changed to Superman Legacy? Or was Superman Legacy a different project altogether?" And then he clarifies, and it was talking about how basically that, Superman Legacy has been in production, which we knew that there was a Man of Steel 2 that was also claimed to be in production. And he says, Superman Legacy was always a separate project. Well, then this person writes, "Gotcha. I think there was some confusion being you said Superman Legacy was there before you and Peter came in." And he goes, "It was. I was hired to write Superman Legacy over 6 months ago." Now, I don't want... For people who are watching this, I do not want a lot of hate to be on James Gunn for this. That said, clearly the man is lying when it's convenient for him. He may not always be telling the truth, which, as a movie executive, you probably have to do that. He has even defended Henry Cavill in the past. But what I would say is that this is definitely a bummer for Henry Cavill. Being someone who was hired to do the role, was promised to be back into that role again by Warner Brothers, and to turn around and not to be in that role anymore, and to be let go the way he was, has to be very deeply concerning that he was just used to push Black Adam. Now, I think Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson should be blamed for that. I think Warner Brothers Studios should be blamed for that. And then, honestly, maybe the third in line would probably be something like, not even third in line, maybe fourth or fifth or sixth in line should probably maybe be James Gunn. Now, what I would say is James Gunn, I understand you don't want to use Henry Cavill. It seems like he really wants to get rid of a lot of the people, probably more people than we realize. And I understand the importance of having a new Batman and a new Superman. But I think this just shows again that people really wanted Henry Cavill, and I honestly still believe that if he would not have done everything that he did with Henry, and he would have kept Henry Cavill, I think that people would not have the hostility that they have towards him. And something interesting I just saw, and it's because I want to ask him and bring it back on Netflix. That's not going to happen. But, just kind of caught out that all these people were, posting and congratulating him for being back on Instagram. And, clearly people are upset. The same guy who asked the original question says Gunn's DCU just doesn't feel right. After the Superman news last night, it feels like there was some sort of darker motive behind Cavill's exit. It feels like the fans were wronged, and so was Cavill, and maybe even Snyder. It doesn't sound like we know the truth. Again, Snyder fan stuff. Snyder's doing his own thing. I'm not too concerned with that. I think everybody, let's just be real with this, okay? Now, I know there's a lot of Snyder fans out there, and I like the Snyder films, but let's be real with this. Snyder has screwed Superman. The Warner Brothers execs in the past have screwed Superman. The Warner Brothers execs in the present seem to have screwed Henry Cavill at least, and you go down the line, then eventually you may get to James Gunn, who probably maybe really does not like Henry Cavill. Don't know if that's true or not, but that's a possibility. And is it a bummer? Yes, but there was a long road of screwing over Henry Cavill. And here's my question with all this, and this is what I want to kind of end the video on and wrap it up in a nice bow. Do I think that Henry Cavill has any legal claim when it comes to James Gunn? No, I do not. I do not think that is realistic. Do I think he has a legal claim against DC? I mean, guys, it's hard not to say that he doesn't. He has gotten screwed over and over again with DC and Warner Brothers. I think he may have a legal... I mean, I'm not a lawyer, so maybe if a lawyer watches this or someone who knows deeply about the law could let me know. But does Henry Cavill have a legal case to possibly sue Warner Brothers? Because I think that's a possibility. Now, I think there's other ways to make this right. I think giving him another role in DC, how interesting would it see to see him play someone like Batman or something? He's at the age where he could realistically have a son, and I think he could play a great Batman, and maybe that would be an interesting twist to let us know things have changed in the DC universe, but still, letting the fans have Henry Cavill have something. I don't know. I don't know what would be the right thing to do. I just know that this is kind of a bummer for Henry, and I'm sorry for him. And, I'm very curious. Could he sue Warner Brothers for all of this? Because it seems like he was getting screwed over by the jump. Now, maybe I'll end this, leave you what you think, but, there was a possibility they didn't know who was going to be over DC, and if James Gunn wouldn't have gone over DC, then maybe Henry Cavill would have stayed as Superman, or maybe would have been rebooted entirely. We don't know, but just makes you wonder. But anyway, guys, enough about what I have to say about it. What do you have to say about it? Go in the comments. Let me know what you think. And guys, whatever you're going and whatever you're doing, I hope you're having a good one. Peace.